Hello, everybody. Welcome to our TRANMERE Rovers Road to Glory in manager mode for EAFC26. Super excited to kind of get this off and running. This will all be recorded stream-wise through our Twitch and YouTube, so you can still watch it on YouTube live, which is really nice. But this is something for me to do on stream that I've kind of wanted to do for a long time, but was playing Ultimate Team all the time and was kind of sucked into that. I fell off of that this year, got through Ultimate Scream and was like, we need to do something different. So I'm streaming these and then doing a voiceover recap of halfway through these seasons to kind of give you updates on like how are things going, give you guys some gameplay of like what these games are kind of like and how they're going. That's kind of what these videos are going to be, but you can easily watch the streams, rewatch them to see what happens and see it moment for moment. But these are just gonna be nice little recap videos to kind of show you all, hey, this is what's happening right now. First order of business is to talk about what difficulty are we playing on. These difficulties it's kind of tough. We used the preseason figuring this all out. We played 3 games in that and we came to the realization that we should probably play on world class. We were kind of getting good feedback of like we were winning, we were losing, we were doing all of that, so we went with that. That was really helpful. That was working really well, so we went world class 4-minute halves on competitive mode. After 5 league games, we instantly changed that to legendary 4-minute competitive. It started getting too easy out of nowhere, so I was like, all right, we're bumping it to legendary. So we had it set to that, and then the biggest other thing I set was no firing. I want this to go as long as possible, so we set no firing on so that we can make this last as long as possible. Now we do have some transfers to go through, loans, transfers out, and some youth signings that have happened within our first transfer window and going into the beginning of trying to get to the winter. So the loans we have on our team this year, there's 5 players, 4 of them that started with the beginning of the save. Goalkeeper Barrett, right back Joseph, our left midfielder Blacker, and striker Harris. Those 4 guys were already on the team when we started. We'll have to deal with some of them. Some of them have year-long, some end in the winter transfer window anyway, so like some guys are going to be leaving in 6 months anyway, so we won't even have to really worry about some of these guys. Some of them didn't. I don't think any of them really played. I think Joseph played a few games. I don't think Blacker ever came in. Barrett didn't ever come in. Yeah, just loans that didn't really get used based on just the length of time we had in between games. We didn't really have to exercise moving guys in and out. But then our 5th person that we brought in came from Tottenham Hotspur on a loan, striker Dane Scarlett. We went bold and we decided to bring him in to have a striker. We weren't going to be able to buy a striker or loan out a decent striker in this window, so we're like, let's try to give ourselves the best chance at fighting for playoff promotion. So we brought in Dane Scarlett. Boy, does that show later on that was a pretty good signing and giving him a good chance at progressing his career. We did sell 1 guy. However, in the end, striker Christian Dennis, I think he's like 35 years old, so he wasn't going to get any playing time, let alone he was not going to progress any higher. So we sold him on to another club, and we had 2 younger strikers anyways below Ironside, so like we were stacked on strikers. Wasn't too worried about them. We did have 3 youth signings throughout the window and at the end of the window. Goalkeeper Waite became our starter once he got promoted, so he became the starter for the team, which is just fantastic for us. Instant upgrade right there. Center back Park, same thing. We needed a center back on the team, and he fills the role, so he became our left center back, and that just kind of pushed everyone down a pedigree. So we had a backup center back in case. And then we needed some help on the left wing. We needed help on the right wing too, but we didn't have anybody that could take over the right wing side, so we did have a backup for Patrick, which is Collier. He came in, he became a good switcheroo where we were just like, okay, this game we put in Collier, let Patrick rest. I don't know how Jennings did it, but Jennings played all of these games and never got a substitute once. So that was pretty much what happened during the transfer window for transfers going into the dogfight. It will be in League 2. Now we get to talk about some of the games. It was our Reading versus Tranmere Rovers game. This was, I believe, for the Virtu Trophy, where we played like three matches and we're put in a table with Reading and another club. Reading starts off fast with a goal in the first half and makes us come back, which was a very beginning start to this career mode where we had to fight back in a lot of these games. We had some good plays, some good passes in the box, got some openings, and Jennings fires one in to get the tie in the, what is that, 61st minute, 62nd minute. So yeah, Jennings got it to 1-1. A good bounce back after a tough goal from Reading. And then we go all the way to the final minute. We were doing so well defending against Reading, having some attacks that we should have probably done better on, and Reading takes the win in the very last second of the match, which was just heartbreaking when we needed a draw against them. Which then brings us to the first game, I think, after the Reading game was the Newport County game. This is it just tells you where this team is sitting right now, where defense is just a little rough to start this career mode. First drive of the game, and Newport County gets a start of a lifetime and gets a goal in the 5th minute. We then start with the ball. We lost it, and the second attack of the game from Newport County results in another goal. Just not the start you want for a career mode that we're trying to run here. Not the way we wanted to start this match, but thankfully we bounced back in the 31st minute with a good run and get a goal with Scarlett. A great run, just not much having to set up there, just a good run by Dane Scarlett, which then he's able to pick up the ball from the through ball and get a nice goal for us to bounce back at least within one at the beginning of the half. But then shortly going into the second half, we put on a good attack here. It took us a little bit to find an opening. Guys were kind of all just getting covered, but then we got this amazing pass to Finley. Still don't know how we even got that pass in there, but we got the pass in, and Finley buries it in the left side for us, which helped us get back to 2-2. Once that goal happened, I knew we had the momentum. We had a lot of good attacks after that we just weren't finishing, but could definitely feel like there was a goal on the horizon for us, and that was the case where Scarlett was able to put it in the back of the net for us and get us the lead of a lifetime after a horrendous start. It just looked like a very typical Tottenham start to a game, just go down 2-0 in the beginning and have to fight back for the win. Very classic. So yeah, a 3-2 fight back win at home, which then brings us to the Walsall game. Nothing happened the first half in this game until the 51st minute, where we get a goal to take the lead. A lot of good passing, some openings, and just guys making some runs that we needed. So Kenna got us the first goal there, which is fantastic. Gets us the lead finally after 51 minutes of nothing. And then the unthinkable happens. Right off the kickoff, Walsall just passes it around, gets some good passes, gets just a ridiculous bounce off of one of our guys that should never happen, and it just tells you something's not going to happen well from this. And sure enough, they just get some ridiculous goal, ridiculous shot off out of nothing, and it was just ridiculous to be like, all right, it's 1-1, so much for that. And then we finally get a tackle. I finally actually tackled somebody for once in this career mode and was able to win the ball back and take full on advantage of it and get Dane Scarlett another great opportunity to shoot and score. 75th minute, and again, just looking like, oh, this looks fantastic, like we're actually maybe able to do something with this. Nope. Walsall goes on a ridiculous, amazing tack right off the rip, and they're able to somehow get that pass off, and it's 2-2 with within 3 minutes in game, and just really grinded my gears to just be like, really, this is how we're ending this? This is how this all ends? But thankfully, Walsall was on the attack, heavily attack for some reason, and we get a really easy push in the 86th minute to get another goal to finally win that match. So just I think this first season, the way this first half of the season was going, is there's going to be a lot of emotions. It's going to feel like we're on top of the world, and then instantly the next game we have no idea what we're doing. That's what it's felt like. So we then have Bristol Rovers in this next game. another just typical horrible start. They score in the like 7th minute of the game, take a 1-goal lead right away, and just make it miserable for us just trying to do anything. Thankfully, very quickly, it didn't last long for them. They end up horrible defending, and we just get a great easy attack to go 1-1. Just very standard from us to just bounce back super quickly against these teams. So really good bounce back by Collier. This is just where we start taking over on the attack. I think Bristol was on some like massive attack and just kept going, but a great double doink off the post from Scarlett to put it up 2-1. But yeah, like something with a computer just like going on the heavy attack. I think they were playing like a 5 at the back, but the wings were playing up, so it was really 3 at the back a lot, and we just get another like really easy attack there to take the lead against them, which was really nice. And then this is where it just started taking off. We got I think this was probably our only penalty in the entirety of the first half of the season. Just no fouls. I will tell you something that I started realizing this whole save. Fouls were just not a thing. We were literally just having corners in this. Like, I wasn't committing fouls. CPU wasn't committing fouls. We were just, nothing was happening on the foul side. It was literally just football happening. So yeah, we get a penalty, scored that, get the goal, and then we just start taking off. Really good match by us to go 4-1, to go 4-1 up and just take an immense lead, and taking an immense lead in this game. But then, as you will start to see, something started happening. Our defense went out the window. We were trying to pass it out. We couldn't even do that. It just started falling apart in weird ways, and Bristol Rovers started to show in the 74th minute that maybe we could possibly see a comeback of the ages happening. I still think that first goal might have been offsides, but everyone must have moved perfectly where he was onside at the time of the kick, and it was just getting really frustrating, where it was just like nerve-wracking that we're probably fine at the 85th minute if they scored, but my goodness, they brought it back to make it interesting that they might bring it back and win it. But thankfully we got the ball, we held on to it, they didn't score again, which was good, and the game was able to end. And then we had something happen after this game, something you would never think of. A training injury clash, the first of its kind for us. A challenging day at training took a turn for the worse, as both Barrett and Murphy sustained injuries during a training session. Regrettably, neither player will be fit for selection until they recover. Murphy was out for the longest at this point, and it was gonna be like 4 or 5 months, and then Barrett was gonna be out for like 2 months. And the funniest thing about Barrett's injury was that he was already gonna be back at his old club anyways, and Murphy isn't even in the thinking, because Murphy is like 44 years old at this point, and he was never gonna see the light of day. So it was kind of annoying, and it was annoying at first, but then when I looked, I'm like, oh, we literally have who we want for goalkeepers. So while it was a horrible injury happening, it didn't really matter for us. So that was good. We were able to move on and not have to worry too much about that. But it was kind of just like, oh boy, this could have been a lot worse. Now we're into, I believe, the Carabao Cup. Or is the FA Cup, actually. I think this was the first round of the FA Cup for us, which was quite a game for our first round matchup in the FA Cup, where, yep, there we go, it is the FA Cup, and we got a goal with Jennings right away. Nice, easy start with Jennings. Yeah, just a really good start to the game, but then we all notice what happens as soon as we scored. Oh, they take their first attack and they go score 2. So again, we score and we give up a goal. Just typical fashion for us. We go into the second half 1-1. Somewhat at the beginning third of the half, the opponents go in and they get a goal and go up 2-1. Where we were not expecting after that first goal to be in this position at all. Thankfully, very rapidly after that, towards the end of the half, May comes in and scores to tie it up in the 89th minute. Truly remarkable. A great goal for the young lad that we brought up as a youth development player mid-season. So we brought him up, I think, right before this game because we needed another CDM, and he came in and showed off. He knew what he needed to do for us. So May comes in and starts off well for us. So then we go into extra time. Man, was this just a weird time period for us. We were kind of all over the board. I was horrible at defending. They get such a good attack off of my horrible defending and go up 3-2, which then that was it. That kind of set the stone. We weren't able to get a goal. We had like 2 really good chances to score to go to penalties and couldn't even do that. So that was very unfortunate. This is a very unfortunate moment for us. Now moving on to the Grimsby game, we have quite an interesting start to this one too. It took a while. We didn't score until the second half in this game, where we were able to get a good start, some good passes, just some good really quick passes with some good run-ins from Jennings. Jennings was just like on fire at this point. This first half of the season was just massive for him. Just unbelievable to see him in the situation he was a part of. So really happy from him. Just excited to see what he was doing. The opponents bounced back relatively quick after that. We scored, and what do? They get a goal instantly. I think this was the most like repetitive thing to talk about, is we would score and then they would score. Like, it was just like a curse. Like, if we were gonna get a goal, they were gonna get a goal. And sure enough, we had a great chance at the end of the game to get this win, and then everything just bounces not our way, and they get an amazing goal to win this game off of us when that should not have even been the case. So another horrible loss for us, back to back, basically, where we don't need that happening. We then have our one game against Plymouth. It's always weird to say Plymouth because there's a Plymouth here in Minnesota, so it's weird. But anyways, they get a quick goal right off the rip, 34th minute, to finally go up 1-0 against us. Really annoying to just be down against this team, to the point where we're going to go probably 2 down here, I think. Or we get a good bounce back, but it looks like they're gonna go 2 up here. It was just one of those matches where like we've had 2 horrible losses in a row, and then this is happening against Plymouth. Just like, it's not getting better. We're in a slump for some odd reason. This is when I turned on the attack formation, where I was just like, we can't continue this, we need to go on the attack. So I changed tactics to attack, and it didn't take long. We were able to kind of move it around, get some passes, create some openings with this tactic switch, and took advantage of it. It took a while, but we took advantage of it, got a quick goal back in the lower bottom corner. Just amazing. And then in the 75th minute, we had a good good defense on the cross, to the point where we could go on the attack a little bit and get something going, thankfully. And then just an amazing pass to the center, just unbelievable. I mean, it was just crazy. Joe Ironside got a great run in there, and 2-2. I mean, we bounced back again after 2-0 down. We bounced back 2-2, making it look like, man, this could be a great finish to the game. And then Plymouth decides we're just gonna play keep away. We're not even gonna attack, and then I fall for it, and they just get an amazing header, and they just start passing out of their mind right now, and just couldn't save anything this game. And then we lose 3-2. I can't express the amount of emotions through these games we've been having. And then Fleetwood, same thing. Great just start to the game in the 21st minute to go 1-0 up. Early start, just the way we want it once again. But you can probably guess where this is going. 87th minute, they get an attack from their own baseline, which we're thinking, you know what, we should be fine. I do something weird with that, with Kenna controlling him, and don't know what happened, but yeah, just got absolutely eaten alive here by the computer and let in a goal right at the buzzer, and that ends in 1-1. It was just, we started off the season so well, and this point in the season, we just ended the winter months horrible going into the transfer window. Still in a decent spot, I believe, though. We still finished, I think we were still in playoff position though at this point, so it wasn't the end of the world. Wasn't the end of the world. But yeah, we ended up going into the winter months. Even after that Fleetwood draw, we would actually be in third based off of goal differential of 7. We had a goal differential, we were at 17, and MK Dons was at 11. So on goal differential, we technically had a promotion spot at 44 points. But if this top 7 table shows you anything, this was far from over. I mean, that draw for 44 points was kind of ridiculous. It was kind of like, wait, we drew, but like we're still 5 points out of this. Like we're not, it's not the end. We could easily get knocked out of into the promotional playoffs, but we're also very close from winning the league title possibly. So the second half of the season, we didn't have any cup games, so it's all league games from here on out. So that's gonna probably help us a little bit on trying to compete going forward. But yeah, first half of the season, we end up at third in the league table, which is beyond what I would have ever dreamed of for this. So really good start to it. Super excited to show you guys how the end of the season went. That might be split into 2 episodes to finish it off, because there was a lot of games, a lot of big time games in that second half, and especially the stretch to the finale was pretty rapid. So either it'll be one massive episode, or it'll be thankfully one very short one for you all, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what we can get going. But yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. Again, go follow the Twitch and the YouTube, whatever you prefer to watch on. We co-stream it on both, so choose what you provide. All the past episodes do get uploaded on YouTube, so you can go watch the live streams themselves on YouTube if you want to watch the games live and all that. But yeah, and then also keep out on the YouTube. I didn't do it well with the first half of this, but there'll be some shorts from some of the games we played, just some of the closer games back and forth we get. They kind of show highlights of the progression. And then I think I'm gonna make a short coming up for the second half of the season. They kind of be like, hey, this is where we ended up after season 1. I might do a beginning one, might be like, hey, this is where we're starting, and then be like, hey, stay tuned for part 2 to see where we end. Yeah, just go follow both the Twitch and this YouTube. Hit the like button. That just shows me that you like what's going on and like the videos coming out, and it'll be exciting. If you guys want more in these episodes, certainly can make more episodes, but we're gonna, I think for like League 2 this year, we're gonna keep it at, trying to keep it 2 episodes for this, and then maybe League 1 when we're a little more competitive in the League Cups and stuff, maybe we can branch out a little bit more for that. But yeah, super excited to keep this series going. It's gonna be a roller coaster, I think. So we're gonna have some good stretches and some bad stretches, but I'm ready for this journey. So much appreciated, and I will catch you all in the next video. Peace.